right where you belong. Give it strength to carry on. Open your heart, set your mind at ease. Live your life and you'll be free. We're gonna rise, rise, rise. Keep on rising, rise, rise, rise. Keep on rising,
Good evening, everyone. How are you doing? I have no idea where my colleagues are right now, but for now, it's me. I'm flying solo. So welcome, everybody, to TTR Friday. Oh, here he comes, very late. And I always get a bollocking for showing up late, but here he is. Billy will be with us, actually, in 15 minutes or so. He's just sorting something out. Alex, I have no idea why he was late, but... I mean, do I bollock him like he bollocks me when I turn up late for a show? I don't know. How are you doing, Alex?
I'm very well. I just actually had some technical difficulties, so I have been here. I've been preparing some.
Well,
I've
I
been
mean, we do
preparing
have
some stuff
we do have such a thing called WhatsApp group, Alex, that you can, or you could text me and say you're going to be just having a few little problems, or
well, it was the internet, so I was trying to get that sorted before panicking.
Yeah. Everybody's saying I should give you a bollocking, but there you go. I'm not going to. Hey, Paul, you losing weight, says Ian Skinner. I don't know, am I? Maybe I am. I don't eat as much as I did. That's a certainty. I've had to. My appetite is in my old age is disappearing, I think. But never mind that. But welcome everybody to TTR Friday, the show where we have a good laugh to start the weekend. And of course, talk about a bit of football, a bit of banter, and what's been annoying us this week. So if you do enjoy the show, as usual, hit the thumbs up. And if you're new and you like what you see, please do subscribe. So close to 33,000. And of course, you can support the channel in the usual two ways. If you want to join the membership, it's just the join button under me and Alex. And of course, super chats are available, which is that $sign underneath the live chat. And that will guarantee your comment to be read out. Barney Boy says, you're looking cracking, Paul. Better than Alex, but that ain't difficult. Oh,
I mean, big words.
Well, I mean, you know, it's very well. It's not very often I get any praise, to be fair, on these shows. So
he's backed me into a corner there because I can't really responding in any way. Basically, is having a go at you, Paul. So it's I'll let you have the win.
Yeah, thank you. Johnny J says, hi, guys. Great news. Vicky is now home from hospital and is on oxygen at home. She is so much better now. It's great to know, Johnny J. Give her our love, please, and tell her we've been asking after her. Now, Alex, I do believe that judging by the WhatsApp message earlier on when you were at work and, discussing what happened with with a certain press conference this morning, was tactics or things like that mentioned? It wasn't. And you were quite angry about that.
I'm going because it's bothered me that much. You know, we've done thousands of hours of shows, and I'm just stumbling over words with how frustrated I am at the press conferences now, because I'm ultimately backed into a corner myself, because we are a YouTube channel. We like to be nice. We don't like to be too harsh on people. But at the end of the day, again, it's a room full of professional people who are salaried to ask good questions, to write good articles about the football club. And I did watch a little bit of your show earlier, Paul, and you summed it up for me. You mentioned about how the Sean Dyche press conferences go, and I'm quite jealous of other press conferences with other managers, because especially the Villa with Emery and stuff. I want tactical insights. I want good questions. I appreciate it's not everybody's cup of tea. I get that, but it's football. It's a sport. We need some sporting questions. It's the same. I'll say the same as I said again the other day. Not Coronation Street. We're just hopping from one contract situation to the next. It is boring. There are so many more important questions to be asked about the game at hand and about how we play. I appreciate you can't go too far into it because of letting things slip. I get that. However, we're not getting enough information out of Eddie Howe because the questions aren't good enough a lot of the time. And there's probably some journalists that absolutely hate me after what are the things I've said in the last couple of weeks, but I'm just bored of it. I'm so bored of it. A lot of people charge for publications. Just do better. Well,
I mean, look, to kind of phrase ask the question here, should he reveal his tactics, though? That's not what we're saying, mate. What we're saying is...
I just stated not that.
Asking questions regarding, we haven't been great at set pieces lately, Eddie. Is there anything you may be doing in training to change a little things up? Are you looking at maybe formation changes? He doesn't have to give anything away. You just say, we've been working on, definitely working on set pieces. You don't have to give anything away for set pieces because set pieces take place on the pitch. You can just say, we have been working on them. We realize that the set pieces haven't been good enough and we're going to be doing something about it. Why the lack of goals, Eddie? What do you think the problem is? Just questions like that. It's not been nasty to Eddie. It's not been sarcastic. It's just asking questions
but ultimately we're getting questions about tension between Paul Mitchell. We're getting questions about Oasis. And somebody made a joke to me on Twitter earlier, which I agree with. They're probably going to ask him about Sam Fender. I imagine they will do. They'll waste a question on Sam Fender. Yeah. I'm just so bored of it. Do your job. It sounds like Roy Keane now, but just do your job.
Do your job. Yes, exactly. But the thing is, I don't understand. These guys are. We keep getting told that. Some people, say to us, "Oh, you're not journalists. What do you know?" But sometimes I look at these press conferences and I think, right, I don't have a journalism qualification, but I could ask decent questions. I could ask questions that the fans want to hear because I'm a fan and I want those questions not necessarily answered, just an explanation from Eddie about what he's doing for the next game, how he's going to put the problems with set pieces and goal scoring right. Does he have a plan? Is something in his head to maybe tweak something or change something along the line? He doesn't have to give anything away, but just have that conversation that he realizes that we're not scoring goals, we're not clinical enough, or there's a problem with set pieces. It becomes a point of saying, well, what's the point of doing it? But then you look at, like you say, Alex, other journalists at other press conferences, and they seem to ask the questions that the fans want to hear. Ours is just ridiculous.
Well, I appreciate everybody wants different questions answered. Like, for example, Craig Hope tweeted today to kind of provide some context about his Isak contract stuff. And he put, I think, what did he put? Some folks have got the wrong understanding or something. And he tweeted that. Fair enough. If that wasn't his intention, if that was the way he didn't want it to be interpreted, fine. But whether he says that or not, Sky Sports ran stuff this morning about the contract with Isak and about Arsenal looming because of Craig Hope's article. So Craig Hope can say some folks, those are the exact two words he used, some folks. Well, Craig, it's not some folks. It's Sky have picked that up and run with it, which I know is not your fault, but it's just breathing life into it, and it makes it so much harder as a fan base because then you've got Arsenal fans.
It's making it more of a story, Alex. It's making it more of a story.
It's breathing life into the fact that Isak's unsettled, and it's not necessary. And then Luke Edwards came out today and went, no, it's not really. This has been kind of taken too far. It's not really that's not what Luke Edwards has got from this. So he's kind of the opposite. Well, not maybe opposite, but a different view of Craig. And it's just things like that are obviously a lot of the other media are then just running with these stories, and it's causing issues. We've had massive issues in the last few months about huge civil wars, and Gordon's going, Isak's going, Bruno's going, he's going. It's a massive thing. It's huge. You're not getting this kind of thing well, you are getting a lot of things at other clubs. Fine, there's a lot of drama at a lot of other clubs.
Yeah, but there's a lot of banter in them. But there's also a lot more questions about the football. You know,
There
about
is, yeah.
the
There
previous
is.
game or the next game and the next opponent. It's the same boring shit over and over again where Eddie will just say the same as what he says about any other team. He respects the manager. You know, he's done a great job and they're playing well. It's the same stuff. But I don't really want to know what Eddie's thoughts about Chelsea are. I want to know what his thoughts on Newcastle United are, putting set pieces right and scoring from open play. But those are the two main concerns that I have at the moment.
Wasn't asked. I'm shocked that wasn't leaned into. Mental.
But it's like they don't even. These journalists don't communicate with each other before they go in. It's very much.
No, they don't. They don't. Keith Downey has confirmed that they don't, and that's fair. Why should they? They don't want to give gold to other journalists. They will just have a list of prepared things, and if something comes up, they'll cross it out. Although sometimes they don't do that and they ask repeat questions because they're just not paying attention. But that's another conversation for another time.
Yeah. Gareth says, those who say you're not a journalist, so does that mean when I see a woman with herpes, I can't call it out as I'm not a doctor? Well, yeah. Oh, he's here. Hey, there he is. And only 11 minutes, not 15, Billy. So that's well done.
I did pretty well. It was quite a big medical procedure I had to have.
Oh.
Yeah. Well, Coventry City Council are a bit bankrupt. They can't afford a new windsock for the airport.
Right.
So I've volunteered to have a circumcision.
Starting off as we mean to go on.
Well, yeah, I mean, look, it is Friday. Billy waits for this moment every week, doesn't he? I mean, it should be named TTR Billy or something like that, or Billy's TTR Friday. But I mean, Billy, we're just talking about the journalists again and the press conference and the nonsense of it all. You know, I understand what you're saying, Alex, about the journalists, and you know, they don't want to give away their questions. But when you get to sort of fourth and fifth in line, and the previous journalists have all asked very, very similar questions,
be a better journalist.
You've got to be skillful enough to.
You've got to be a better
journalist. Something else.
But that's their job.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
These guys are probably on good money. You know, they've got good status. Some of them are starting little YouTube channels and things. They've got little side incomes. They're well respected. They go to all the events. They've got a good little setup. They have a good setup. So boo-hoo if they have to make sure that they've got a fifth and sixth question prepared. Of course they should. That's literally what their job is. That they should be making sure that they've got that ready. Not asking if they're going to go and if the manager's going to go and see Oasis. It's nonsense.
Well, I mean, Billy, I tell you, you haven't changed your tune from this morning. Still just baffled by it all.
I don't think they're very professional at all. Like Stato says, if someone asks you a question, you've got to have at least 4 or 5 questions, and you go down the list.
Yeah.
And how is it hard not to kind of have a conference with your opponents or colleagues, whatever you want to call them, before the actual conference? And that's what people are asking. So you know what's like we do sometimes on here before we start on a Friday.
Yeah,
I think the issue is with journalism now is it's rated on kind of views, clicks, interactions, if it's helping their publication without going too far to a level. So there's no accountability there would be in different points of employment. You know, if you've not done a great job, it is so subjective. You're not going to get told off or told to improve or do this. It is purely, well, it doesn't matter what you asked. We got loads of reads of the paper this week. So well done, Mr. Journalist. And that's presumably how it just goes. Again, for anybody who works in journalism and is in that kind of world, please correct me if I'm wrong, because I genuinely don't know. And again, I don't want to dig people out. I want better stuff from the manager. I want better questions. I want better answers. Obviously, that's down to the manager to give stuff away. But it's just, we're just sat here week after week throwing random questions into the universe that we just never get answers for because nobody cares.
I mean, like this quote says here, how hard is it to think of a question on the spot if someone has already answered your question you initially had? That's what these guys are paid money for.
Have it prepared.
And especially with Newcastle United, there's a whole host of things you could ask. You know, ask about the set pieces, ask about the formations, ask about, is he worried that we haven't scored from open play for so long? You know, why does he think we're not clinical enough at the moment? You know, get him to answer some questions regarding the team.
There's more. Right off the top of my head, not prepped. Vlaco Dimos, fantastic for Greece. Is he now number 2? Is he going to be the bench player? Is he challenging Pope? John Ruddy's birthday. Is Ruddy in? Is he down the pecking order? What about Dubravka? What's going on with him? What about Target and his eczema and his injuries? What about Lloyd Kelly? We've brought him in on high wages. Is he there to challenge for left back, for centre half? What about when Botman comes back? Do we have any ideas what we're doing going forward? Is Kelly going to be used in more defensive situations?
Yeah.
You know, that's literally just random nonsense you can throw out that is relevant and would give us some context about Eddie Howe's choices and the club going forward. And that does not give away anything about the Chelsea game for Maresca. It's just, is Oddie kind of there or not there? It's there's no reason why we can't be asking these kinds of questions instead of, I saw somebody signed a contract. Yeah, we also all saw that. Thanks for asking a redundant question.
It's just like they all want to. They're like vultures, right? They just want the bad stuff, right? They don't want to. For some reason, there's never anything positive. It's always stuff like we saw today, contracts and Isak. Is he wanting out? Is he wanting to stay? Where is he lying and all that? And obviously about Anthony Gordon's contract, which was a bit more on the positive side. But the quote he gave for that answer had me a little baffled. About him. Hopefully now he'll improve for us, and you're kind of thinking, okay, well, what's gone on before that? Was his head turned? Is he furious that Newcastle was shopping him out for PSR reasons, etc.? But they don't go further into the questions. And like I say, if I was sitting there as a fan, I'd be asking the questions that we as fans want to know, not what Eddie thinks of Chelsea or what he thinks of, fucking Sam Fender or whatever he's going to be asked about next. No disrespect to Sam, he's a cracking lad. But the problem I've got is that we just don't focus enough. These journalists don't focus enough on the team where we want answers and the proper answers. Because we're all sitting here asking questions about what is he doing about set pieces? Is he worried about the lack of goals, etc., etc., etc.? Do
you know what? I was just about to say that teams that have trouble scoring from open play generally score from set pieces. Both of ours are short at the minute. So it's a recipe for disaster if it didn't get fixed sharpish.
Yep. I mean, ask him how he felt about now he's had a week to dwell on the goal we conceded against Brighton. Is he worried that we keep dropping in concentration and conceding silly goals? Where does he stand on all of that? I mean, it's pointless us saying that. We're never going to be in a situation where we can ask these questions. It really pays me off. I mean, they've got, 9, 10, 11, 12 questions that they're asked in a press conference, and they're all the same thing. All the same thing. It's just a load of bollocks, man. It really is.
Any injury updates, Eddie? And how is Matty T getting on? And how is it's really generic, just dross.
All they ask about is Callum Wilson.
Look, it's a fucking joke. I mean, I'm annoyed with that now because it's just like Eddie sits there and he says the same thing over. Apparently, it's not a setback. It's just that he's got tight muscles. It's a setback. If you're not going to be able to play, it's a setback because your muscles are tight. But listen, when you've got hamstrings, etc., like twigs, they are going to be tight when you run on them. But I'm just saying this morning, Alex, when me and Billy were talking about that, Callum Wilson, right, it's not even to joke about anymore. It's just pathetic. And it's not Callum's fault. Don't get me wrong. I got nothing against Callum Wilson as a guy. He's been a cracking player for us. But Eddie states 3 games, all right? He's out for another 3 games. But then when he comes back, he's got to get match fit, which is going to take another 4 or 5. So technically, you're looking at Christmas before we get Callum Wilson competing for a first-team start.
I think Adam P posted something yesterday that was pretty on point. Oh, that's not Adam P. I'm trying to look for his post yesterday. It was about how many games or how many apperances
6 games in 42 this year, Alex.
Yeah, so six out of 42 matches played in 2024 with a 14.2 appearance record. So well done, Adam, with the stats there. Good job. But yeah, 6 out of 42 matches played. It's plus the 3 more that we're about to add on. So that'll be 6 in 45, which, whether you like Callum as a person or not, is irrelevant now. It's damaging the football club because the number 2 / challenging number 1 choice is just not available, just never available.
I mean, that's a good
And
point. We don't practice set pieces. We do bleep tests and stepping over cones. It seems to be what we do.
Well, I've got some stuff on set pieces later, but we'll wait for that.
Eddie gets a free ride every press conference. Do you know what he does? And that's not nothing against Eddie. That's the kind of questions he isn't asked the real pressing questions like we've gone on about since the start of the show. He's not.
He's gone from having the hardest questions in the league to the easiest because he used to get asked about human rights atrocities, which was unfair, very unfair. But now he just gets asked nothing. He gets asked about Oasis.
Martin's asking if we have a set piece coach. Billy, do you want to step in there?
Yeah, it's Mr. Trundle. Tyndall.
Yeah.
It's our assistant manager or our assistant head coach.
Who couldn't win a bath, couldn't manage a fart after a curry.
Chris says, I am watching TTR on my TV, but the screen is tiny. Is this your new software? Not at all, my man. It's your TV, mate. You need to change the settings of your TV. Aspect ratio or something like that. Yeah, it's nothing to do with us, matey. We are
we're not even using the new software.
You what, mate?
We're not even using the new software yet.
No, it will debut on Sunday for Matchday Live. Thoroughly looking forward to using it. It will make the channel look very much more professional. Yeah, looking forward to that. But yeah, aspect ratio on your TV is probably what you need to change. Niall says he should have just said he was out for 3 months way back, and if he came back earlier, optics looked better.
I think he did say that originally. That was about 6 months ago.
I mean, Exile Andy Max says, hi, Eddie. How are you? Good. Can I just ask, do you think these press conferences are worth continuing with, given that we just ask complete shite and you never say much of any real value? But it's not Eddie's fault. Eddie can only answer the questions that he gets in the press conference. So, it's not Eddie's fault. And yeah, maybe he's getting a bit of a free ride because nobody's pressing him on the things that really matter with our football team at the moment, which is set pieces, scoring goals, and conceding stupid goals by switching off at vital parts of the game. And, somebody mentioned earlier on all the possession that we have, etc. You can have all the possession you want in the world, but if you're not scoring goals, it doesn't matter. If the other team has 30% possession in the game and score 2 goals, what would you rather have? Because at some point, we've done that. Newcastle United have been that team where we've given up a lot of possession, but we've won the game 2 or 3-0 by being clinical and being professional. We're not seeing any of it right now. So possession for me is just a load of bollocks. It's what you do with it, and we're not doing anything with the possession right now. I mean, like you said this morning, Billy, all that possession in the first half against Brighton, how many saves did we actually make the keeper make? Not many. Peter says if we lose our next 3 games, our season is half over, as we can only win the FA Cup, as we have no chance in the Premier League.
Well, we won't win the Premier League anyway, but.
Well, I tell you what, though, it'll be what I'm interested to see is where we are come the next international break, right? Because we've got Chelsea, we've got Arsenal, I think we've got Forest as well, who are playing really well right now. So there's some tough games coming up, and we've got to be better than we have been. We've got to be more clinical. But I don't know what Eddie's thinking because we never get to find out. We never press him on anything in the press conferences. But I don't know. Anyway, earlier today, I saw a hilarious, I don't know whether you guys have seen it, but Dan Byrne deciding to go to whatever that Halloween thing's called. I can't remember what it's called. Somebody will put it in the chat, I'm sure. He says, hi, I'm Newcastle United's Dan Byrne, and I'm going into this, it's like a scare thing. And it's hilarious.
Psychopath or something.
Psychopath, that's it.
Horror thing.
Yeah, Psychopath. And it's hilarious. I don't know whether you guys have seen it, but it's so funny. Because Dan Byrne screaming is the most hilarious thing you're going to see in your life, Alex.
Yeah, well, it's quite ominous because the initial video is just a little girl talking to Dan Byrne saying, well, we're not allowed to say it on YouTube, but you're not going to end this living, basically. Yeah. And he looks proper creeped out. So to see somebody of Dan Byrne's stature, height, leadership and just he's an absolute unit. You don't mess with Dan Burn. Back in the Middle Ages, he'd have been a knight or something, or leading the lines. And to see him walking around a horror house, absolutely scared out of his mind, it's quite funny because he does have a couple of little screams in there. So,
I mean, to be fair,
Obviously,
I said to Susan, I think, would you do that? And she says, not a chance. I'd not sleep for weeks. Some people can really be shaken up by them, I guess. But some people get a real buzz out of jump scares, don't they? It's like an adrenaline rush. And I think that's why these psychopath things are so popular, because a lot of people like to go in there and be scared. I mean, I put YouTube on and hear Paul Gallant singing, and that's enough for me. Never mind Halloween. So it's incredible. Good evening, Paul. Foxy says, big problem with our set pieces is we don't really have great aerial players in the team. Lascelles, Botman, and even Wilson are our biggest threats from crosses. Yeah, but that's what we should be working on, isn't it?
Yeah, but even with them out,
when you've got a 6'7" centre half, you should be really creating some sort of damage in the box.
With Joe Linton as well, and Cher's not tidy.
Well, yeah, but we don't utilise them enough. Thanks for that, Baz. Dan Burns' attacking heading is as bad as his screams. I mean, Billy's referred to him as having a 50 pence head. It's fine when you're defending because it clears the lines, but when you're trying to score, I mean, the one that really did annoy me last week was Gordon's header on the 6-yard box. I mean, you've got to put that on target, and this is what we're saying about being clinical. Isak's 1-on-1, it was powder puff for me. He hit the keeper, didn't save it. Isak hit the keeper. I mean, yes, he came out, fair enough, but the Isak that we know would have just took that round him and slotted it home. But he's just out of form right now. And when you've got a free header on the 6-yard line as a professional footballer, I would expect you to hit the target, Billy.
Absolutely, especially someone the quality of Alexander Isak. But we all know that he's a little bit of a confidence issue with him. He's having an injury and being out for long. But before that, he wasn't great. I think once he does score, as we always say, class is permanent and form is temporary. So when he does finally get one on target and scores, I think he'll score a lot more. So
now, Alex, I know you will want to have a little bit of a say about somebody's performance for Fenerbahce last night, and I mean, I'm going to ask you because at some point I guarantee you'll have brought it up anyway. So
what happened, Paul? Why would I?
Well, Alex, I know you watched the game, and I know through WhatsApp how amazed you were at your boyfriend. I mean, Maxi.
Oh, what? Because he got a great assist.
End products. That's our end product.
No, in all honesty, if you want me to talk about Maxi, I thought he was poor yesterday. He looks like he's actually lost a bit of pace, a bit of top-end pace, acceleration. I think the year in Saudi's not been very good for him. He was going into his peak. He's still got some skills, and he's a threat. However, he was getting to the byline quite a lot, and it was quite damaging for Man United, actually. But he's lost a lot of that just absolute, the acceleration and the pace looked like it had gone a little bit. Saudi's not done him any good. He was going into his peak as a 26-year-old when he left. He should have gone somewhere where he could have really pushed. I don't think Saudi was the right move for him. He's back in Europe. He's at Mourinho's team in Turkey at Fenerbahce, and he'll be useful. But it was a good assist. But I think he's made the wrong move.
I mean,
and he's getting older now, so his kind of game is harder the older you get. As he gets into 28, 29, 30, he's not going to have that just ridiculous balance, and you just don't have that. So it's probably downhill from here for him, unless he can, maybe he's got a couple of years left to try and push on. But
yeah, he did actually fall over himself at one point, which I thought, classic Maxi.
Well, as did Anthony, and then injured himself. But
but we know Anthony's shit, to be honest. It really does petrify me, the fact that we've been linked with him in the media.
Can I just say as well, by the way, that French ref, I think he reffed us once as well in the Champions League.
Yeah, I recognised. Yeah, he did.
Dear Lord, is he a bad referee? He was awful. He sent Mourinho off for basically doing a crab walk and being a little bit frustrated.
Mourinho's
It
comments
was-
after the game were good, though. I tell you
Yeah,
what,
well, the ref
what
had
a-
got one eye on Mourinho and one eye on the penalty incident.
what
It's
a guy
completely
he
true.
is, man. He's just never afraid to speak his mind, is he?
Can I say
mean,
one thing that I'm never going to say again? I've never said before.
Uh-oh.
Manchester United's goal was fantastic last night. Really good goal.
Yeah, it was a good goal, actually. It was a brilliant finish from Eriksen, wasn't
Because
it?
you've got
Brilliant field,
Amrabat
good
and
build-up.
Fred as midfield cover, so Fenerbahce didn't have anybody to cover Eriksen at
It's
all.
just a really good move there, wasn't it?
It was a good
lovely
move,
finish.
and a really controlled finich. He scored a few goals this year, Eriksen. Yet people are banging on about him being shit. But at least they're hitting the
Everybody
target.
pulls on a red shirt there, isn't it?
Well,
They get
absolutely, yeah.
tainted.
Yeah. Anyway, let's find out what's happening tonight with this one. Who are we shaming tonight, Mr. Stato?
Newcastle set pieces specifically. And if as an extension of that, if we're going to have to say Jason Tindall, then we're going to say Jason Tindall. We had, because I counted it today, 74 corners in all competitions according to SofaScore. Doesn't mean that's bang on. It might depend on by website and who's recording it. I just went off SofaScore, so it might be one or two out. But 74, we have scored exactly 0 goals from corners. None at all, nothing. So that is quite a lot of corners to be not scoring from. And I've done a little bit of digging on sort of corner statistics and what the kind of general consensus is and how much you should be scoring from corners.
Yeah.
And I found a little article from the analyst. The 2024-25 Premier League season has seen just 21 goals scored from its 758 corners, meaning a lower proportion of corners have led to goals, 2.8% than any other season in the last 10 years. It is very early, that being said. Last season saw a high of 4.2 corners leading to goals in the first passage of play after it had been taken. Even 4.2%, dropping it down to 2.8%. We've had 70 odd corners. There's got to be 2 or 3 goals in there. Even with these poor statistics and the drop off of teams scoring from corners, a Premier League team with the kind of coaching setup that we've got, an ambition, you need to be scoring something from corners. It is not good enough, and it's not like we've not had it previously. This is alluding to what Foxy mentioned earlier. Fair enough, we've had Lascelles, Botman, and Wilson available in recent seasons that have helped buff that up. But this was I can't remember what season this was. So June 27th, 2023, there was an article written for Total Football Analyst talking about Brentford's quality with set pieces and then comparing us to it. So in that season, Brentford got 16 goals from set pieces specifically, with Tottenham 16, Liverpool 17. And we actually had some fantastic XG specifically from that season from set pieces. We had 20.85 expected goals from set pieces that season. So just considering what we've produced so far this year, it's awful. It's not good enough. And in the sort of games that we've played.
But Alex, that's another thing that I want somebody to ask Eddie. How is, what's his thoughts on Tonali taking set pieces?
100%. Well, largely, I've had a look at the data, and we're sort of 85% of corners that we take are in swingers, and we know that because we play Lewis Hall on the left to take the left-footed in swingers, and we typically have Gordon on the right to take right-footed in swingers, or Trippier if he's playing. So it's things like that we know. This is easy data, but the problem is when you look at the context of recent matches, it's been 1 goal in it. Man City was 1-1. Everton was 0-0. Yeah, Everton was 0-0. Brighton was 1-0 loss. So you're looking at 1 goal margins here. So we probably should have scored 2 or 3 goals from set pieces, possibly just corners, but let's say set pieces to be generous, or to not be generous. So those 2 or 3 extra goals we should have scored really from set pieces gets us more points in those fixtures. If you're going to apply them to that match, but still, it either gives us better goal difference or it gives us more points. It could even give us 3, 4, 5 additional points. And as Billy said at the beginning of the show, we're not scoring from open play, and we're not scoring from set pieces. So we're misfiring on both fronts at the moment, despite the fact we're having impressive performances and creating lots of chances. I'm still of the opinion that we're still fine because we're playing okay, but we do need to kind of sort this out quick. Otherwise,
it's like you said, Alex. As Sunday comes along, nobody's expecting us to win, right? But if we do lose, I want to see us lose with a bit of dignity and a good performance. I don't want to see us lose by putting our heads down and just saying, "No, it's over." I think that's an important factor as well. Scott Hammond says should get James Ward-Prowse on the cheap. Out of favour at West Ham, and his quality in set pieces, leadership, and experience would help us, in my opinion.
He's sat on the bench at Forest. He's sat on the bench at Forest on loan. Yeah,
we don't need him. We've got Tonali, and he's not going. I guess James Ward-Prowse is better than Sean in technical quality, but
I think he's had his day. James Ward-Prowse, he's took a tumble, really, hasn't he? I don't think he's the player he was. Still probably great at free kicks, don't get me wrong, but there's a reason why he's not getting regular football now. Right, it's time for this, and then we will open up the lines and bring you on.
Here's Billy.
So the link to join us is now pinned at the top of the description, guys. If you want to come on and have your say, let's get some new guys on as well. And those of you that want to have a say on the game this weekend, get in there. The link is pinned at the top. Billy, who is your beef with this week?
It's not as much as a who. It's a what and what's going on at the minute. And I watched quite a bit of European football this week, and Aston Villa outstanding in the Champions League again. I quite enjoyed last night's game actually, Man United and Fenerbahce. So this European football and us not being in it, which is supposed to be a godsend for us.
Yeah.
We haven't really got the injuries that we had last season because we haven't played as many games. But where's the benefits for us in the table? I don't see it. I don't see any benefits in the performance by not playing week in, week out. Yeah, it's just a general of what's going on. And the European football was supposed to be the reason why we weren't so good last season because of the amount of games we played. Seems to be a bit of a misnomer.
Yeah, and that was something that he was asked at the start of the season. Do you think he was asked about the injuries and the fact that, does not playing in Europe help us a little bit? And he did say yes, although he wants to be in Europe. So it's not great.
If anything, we're worse, I think.
Yeah. Right, we've got one guy waiting to come on. Come on, guys. It's pinned at the top of the description. Get yourselves in. You don't have to be on camera if you don't want to. You can just use your microphone on your laptop or your phone. You don't have to put your camera on if you're camera shy. But come on, let's see it from you tonight. Chippers, good evening.
Hello, you all right?
How are you going?
All good here.
Good. What do you want to say tonight, matey?
Yeah, just a bit more about that press conference this morning. I'm a bit frustrated about it, to be honest with you. I mean, they may as well ask him if he likes bacon sandwiches or if he has butter on his toast or something like that, because we're getting nothing from it. And these journalists have got to have a bit more balls about them, in my opinion, and ask them these questions that we need to know, because that's as Alex said, that's their job. They get paid to do it, so do it. It's just laughable. I mean, they seem to think that when the interview our managers, they can ask the questions, but somehow anyhow they're not allowed to ask them, or they don't want to ask them, they're scared. But
well, I mean, it keeps down. He did say when he was on here that he didn't. he said that they're not told what they can and can't ask. So I mean, you know, obviously people can believe that or not, but it came from Keith, so I wouldn't expect Keith to say anything that wasn't true. Do you think the journalists or Chippers, do you think they listen to the fans? I mean, there are plenty of them on social media, so they can get the questions that the fans are asking quite easily.
Probably not, no.
Yeah.
They probably just think what they want to think and write what they want to write. I just there's so many questions that we could do with knowing and be filled in on, and we just get nothing. It's like, you know, Callum Wilson, for example, why is he still on the books when he's not playing forward? Why was he not replaced, upgraded? Certain things like that, where you think, well, just all you do is ask him. If he says no comment, then fine, but at least you've asked him a question. If he doesn't want to answer, he doesn't want to answer it. You know, it's just one of them things. But it doesn't help you going into a big game on Sunday like this.
It doesn't. I mean, how are you feeling ahead of the game? I mean, I know, you know, when we did the predictions on the preview show last night, you know, the three of us have predicted a loss, which it very rarely happens. But a lot of the chat were predicting a loss as well. Are we wrongly writing us off, or do you think, you know, there is a chance we can pull it out the hat?
The only chance that I think we've got is that Chelsea won't put 10 men behind the ball and play a low block. That's the only chance I think we've got. Other than that, I'm really struggling at the minute. Obviously, we haven't scored a goal in 400 minutes, which is alarming. So it makes you wonder, where's the next one going to come from? Goals win your games, and you can't win games without scoring. So that's my big worry. And, you know, I just hope that all this stuff with Isak, whether that's true or not, I don't know. Probably not. I mean, it's just spiraling out of one thing to another. Hopefully he's not.
How do you think we'll play on Sunday, though, Chip? Because, you know, we were talking, Alex, last night about, you know, parking the bus, and, you know, and Billy, you saying, you know, parking the bus, I think we all agree is probably the wrong thing to do. Where do you stand on it?
Well, I remember a few years ago, we went down there and played, was it a 5-4-1, and we battered them, but we'll have it scored in the last minute. But if I remember, I don't think we'll play that way. Yeah,
but the Carabao Cup last season, if you remember, we dominated that until Callum Wilson scored, and then we sat back.
Yeah, well, that's it. This is something the press could have asked Eddie Howe today, but they didn't. So it doesn't really help. But I expect we'll get beat, but just go there and give it a go, because you don't know on the day. I mean, they're not great defensively, but their attacking options, I suppose, make up for that. But you don't know until you have a go at these teams what they're going to be like. It's just, like I said, where's the goal going to come from? Because we're shot shy at the minute. We're scared to shoot. We'll get to the edge of the box, and I'm thinking, just have a shot. You don't know what's going to happen. Goes wide, backwards. It's too, like, you know, just take a gamble. You can't win the raffle if you're not in the lottery, you know.
Absolutely. So what's your prediction then, Chippers?
Unfortunately, I'm going to say 3-0 to Chelsea, unfortunately.
That's what we've gone for, me and Billy. Let's hope we're all wrong and it's a 3-0 win. But thanks for coming on, mate. Take care and we'll see you soon.
Good
night, mate. Next up is Mansook. Good evening.
Hello.
Hi, Mansook.
How are you?
I'm good, yeah. I'm good.
Where are you calling from us tonight?
Manchester.
Oh, God almighty.
Manchester.
I know, it's fucking shit.
Right, what do you want to say tonight, Mansook?
That, like, just no goals anyway.
Mm-hmm. Are you like us and a bit worried that we haven't scored from open play for so long?
Yes, I'm extremely, just really, no one's shooting, no one's scoring. Like, Isak was 1-on-1 and he missed. Like, just can't just do that against Chelsea. Just can't be missing those ones.
Yeah. Well, I mean, look, people are going on about possession and things like that. And Alex, you know, we've said many times, it's fine getting all the possession in the world, but it's actually converting those into goals.
Yeah, I'm not as anti-possession as this stuff. Possession's fine because we are converting possession into chances. We're just not scoring them. There's nothing wrong with the possession. That's fine. People are randomly beating possession with the stick, and it's not possession's fault that we're not scoring goals. We've had loads of opportunities to score goals. It's down to the finishing. So the possession thing is a bit of a strange narrative that certain people are peddling, really, for me.
Just say Roberto Mancini has been sacked. Would you have him to replace Eddie House as Peter? Thank you for your super chat, Peter. I don't know. Listen, Eddie Howe's our manager, and I think it's only right that we continue to talk about our current manager. If Eddie ever does disappear from Newcastle, then obviously we can. There'll be loads of speculation about who we're going to get in, and we can talk about it then. We'll also bring in David. Good evening, David.
Good evening, lads. How are you?
David.
How are you doing?
Doing great. Doing great.
Good.
Here.
What would you like to say tonight?
Just talk about. I feel like in the beginning of the season, when it was the transfer window still open, we're close on getting on Madueke, and then he scored a hat trick, and I was so pissed. I was like, "Fuck! There's no way we're getting him now." But I feel like our team with him and the run of form he's been having would have been amazing. But it is what it is. I think we're definitely going to get it sorted in January. I think everyone knows that and feels that. And I think that having the 2 games with Chelsea right now, I think is good because we can kind of feel it out for this first one. I'm not really expecting a win on Stamford Bridge. Maybe a tie. I'm hoping for a tie. But I know for sure in the Cup, we need that trophy, So, and we're at home. And we're going to have that, test out with the other team. And I've been seeing Chelsea because I'm Ecuadorian. I support Caicedo. So I'm looking at their matches, and in the Cups, Enzo Maresca has so many players that he's been playing not starters. So I have a good feeling that in the Cup we're definitely gonna beat them, and I'm hoping just for this weekend we get a tie at least. Yeah. But either way, it's gonna be a positive experience for the lads, and I'm really happy how we're playing lately. I know the goals hasn't been there. And maybe a lot of people will hate me for this, but I would rather play good and see the players give their all rather than in the beginning of the season where we were getting results. And even though it was good for the team, personally, me watching that, I was so frustrated. I was so pissed, And at least now I'm like, this is great football that we're playing. It's just the goals. I feel like Isak has one of those. I mean, I love him as a striker, but I think maybe it's a little pressure, the fact that he's alone. I think Callum Wilson coming back, if he ever comes back, Eddie keeps pushing the days. I feel like that's a good, healthy competition for him to kind of start to play better. I think you mentioned it, Paul, in the other live the other day that he started to play good when he thought he was coming off. So I feel like, it's just about him kicking gear, but the team itself, I'm so proud of it. And I really wish also Tonali would play the full 90 minutes, like everyone has said in this podcast. It's crazy how Italy's getting the best of him. At least the only positive side I can get from that is that he's getting every time more match fit, which can only help us. And I'm just excited for what's to come. I really think that we're gonna click and we're gonna go on top in the Premier League. I just really want the luck to be in our side for the Cups because we need that trophy. And I'm not expecting us to win the Premier League this year, but I know that one of the domestic Cups can definitely be coming to Newcastle. It's been a long
been a long time. What's your prediction then, David?
My prediction, for the first match, I will say a tie. Let's say 2-2 so we can see some goals. And I know at St. James Park for the Cup, it's going to be 3-1, 4-1.
Oh, I hope you're right.
We're going to batter them. We're going to batter them. Their defense is not that good, to be honest.
Yeah, but our forwards aren't that good at the minute
watch out. But I know Enzo Maresca is going to want to save his players and probably prioritize the Premier League. So, I feel good about it either way.
Yeah.
Heartbreaking to see Caicedo lose. But I'm a Newcastle United first,
Good man.
Well, thank you for coming on, David. Get yourself back on next time.
Dale, mi hermano. Take care.
You take care. You take care. Mansuk, what's your prediction?
I think like 2-2. I think because
Yeah. What about the cup game?
I don't know, probably like a tight one, probably
Yeah.
1-0, 2-0.
To us, I hope.
It's gonna be really hard. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, well, hopefully you're right, mate. Mansuk, thank you for joining us.
Yeah.
Get yourself on next time as well.
Away the lads, go on.
Cheers,
Take care,
Mansuk.
mate. Thank you. Good night.
Can I just throw some just an opinion back at what David said there about Isak, about potentially feeling the pressure and stuff. I'm at that point now where I don't care anymore. He's at that age. He's just turned 25 last month. It's time. It's time now. He's the big boy for Sweden. He's the big boy for us. He's on big money. He was a big transfer fee. He was at Dortmund for a couple of years when he was young. He was at Spain. He had David Silva around him. He got time. He's come to the Premier League. He's now the guy. Yeah, pressure, deal with it. I'm afraid. When you're 23, 24, you've just moved. Okay, cool, fine. Yeah. A few years ago, we were having this conversation about Willock, Isak, Gordon. Now it's a few years down the line. Sorry, Isak. It's time now. That's what you get paid for. Pressure is for tires, as Big Al would say. So
Big Al would say,
he's got to put up or shut up, I'm afraid.
Right. Let's bring on Mr. Spoons is with us tonight, and
hey.
Dags Wood or Dags Woods. What's your name? Josh. And we've got also Chris on just his microphone. Good evening, Chris.
Good evening.
Right, we'll start with Mr. Spoons. How are you doing? And what would you
Sorry,
like
are we just going to ignore the fact that Josh has a snake? Are we going to all ignore that?
Is that a snake?
Are we just moving on?
I've got a snake.
Whoa!
I'm just not showing it.
What kind of snake is that, Josh?
It's a boa.
The fucking
Red-tailed boa.
Oh, Billy knows all about
Just
big
a
snakes,
boa.
don't you, Bilbo?
I'm keeping mine well hidden. It's come to the airport. Shed its skin earlier.
Oh my God! Ian,
she's just a baby.
Yeah, I can see that. I mean, they grow massive, don't they?
Yeah, she'll get about 12 foot.
Wow.
So does Billy's cock.
That's that's two of me. Jesus. Ian, what do you want to say tonight, matey?
I just want to say hello. I just thought I'd come on. I've not seen you for ages.
Well, we haven't seen you, no.
Miss you, especially Paul. Like, I've not seen you at the match or anything. So,
Well, I've been at the matches. I haven't seen you.
I know. Well, I've been. It's been hard actually because I've not been able to get tickets with Tommy.
Yeah.
Fucking ballot it's a joke, you know. So like when I've been generally, like going with other people, like, and you know. So
Yeah.
I'm down on Sunday. I was gonna about 20 minutes ago. I was gonna come on here and say, right, Stato, do you fancy Chelsea? Because I actually thought I had your ticket, Alex.
Oh.
If you weren't doing anything tomorrow, and I am so fucking sorry.
You've let me down.
I just got let down at the last minute, so I shouldn't have probably told you. But I was going to come on here and go.
Just tell me in front of 800 people. It's fine. Don't worry about it.
Yeah, just break his heart, mate. It's fine. You know, there's no problem with that.
I got plans with the wife anyway. Could I just shout out Julie J for that amazing comment that Josh? What's Josh doing with Dan Ashworth?
Josh? Have you actually called him Dan?
No. This is Pandora.
Pandora. Pandora's like a
Greek.
I mean, Billy's opened many Pandora's boxes before, I would assume, in his past.
So I'm told. It's been a long time ago.
Anyhow, Stato, would you come in for would you ditch your missus and come away with me? I bet you would. You.
Well, if I could have gotten away, possibly, yeah.
Right.
I like the way he says possibly, because we all know he would have.
100% next time, because I obviously get me away tickets. So next time, if it's in London, because it's like 50 minutes, 45 minutes away or something. I'm
about a 3.5, 4 hour drive, unfortunately, from the northeast. It's quite far away. Yeah.
No, I'm not away to London.
Oh, from London? I'm about an hour
far
away.
from London, Alex. I didn't remember.
No, I'm not sorry. I'm an hour away from London.
Oh, I get away. I get away tickets all the time. Like so.
Oh yeah. What's your name? Like John Sinclair? Honestly.
No.
David says, love everyone in the chat. Thanks for the support. I really hope we sign an Ecuadorian for once in my lifetime.
As long as they're good enough, then yeah, cool. Why not?
Was Rondon not Ecuadorian?
Venezuelan.
No, he's Venezuelan.
Oh, he's Venezuelan, yes.
Venezuela.
Venezuela. Right, Chris, good evening. How are you feeling ahead of the game?
Yeah, all right, guys. I know you did a press conference reaction.
Yes.
I haven't managed to see all of that yet. But did anyone catch that? I mean, the majority of those questions are pretty stupid.
Yeah.
But did anyone catch what that lady had asked? Which to me, in my head, sounded like, "I like blue. Do you like colours, Eddie?" It wasn't. Instead, it was.
Are you talking about Louise Taylor?
Louise Taylor.
Did you catch the question where she asked if you know, with a good performance the last game, or having good performances and getting results prior to, but not having good performances? She asked if Eddie would like those two, to be together. If he'd like that. What a stupid question! What? No, I don't like that. I want us to play shit and lose. What a fucking waste of time.
That's the Macam, innit?
Yeah. I'm being put off by that snake moving. It's freaking me. Seriously.
Sorry, Paul. I'll do my zip back up.
I've got goosebumps here looking at that thing crawling on your arm. Listen, I don't.
It's slithering, Paul. It's like an Ashworth. Remember?
Yeah, I mean, absolutely. But look at it. I mean, does it not look at you, Josh? And you, when a snake looks at you and it says, "I want to eat you." Oh, look at its tongue, man.
Some of us have to put up with that every day, don't we, Billy?
Well,
yeah, mine ain't got a tongue again, unfortunately.
Billy's tongue is used for other things. Honestly, I mean, I'm being told, there's a snake on the screen and we've got a Minge on TV playing for Germany.
I think it's pronounced Minga, but even that ain't great, to be honest, is it?
Minga or Minge? I mean, what do you want to be called? Do you know what I mean? Oh dear. Ian, what do you predict for Sunday, mate? Are you confident?
Well, last time, I went last season down there, and I've got to say, what I will predict is that Chelsea are the worst home fans that I've ever, going off last year, that I've ever seen. They were awful. Oh, they were, they're shite. So I've just got a feeling. I think we've been very, very unlucky. We've not finished our dinner, have we? That's why I've come on, really, just to say, we haven't been as bad as people are saying. We've actually played really well, but we couldn't finish our dinners at the moment.
Yeah, we're not cleaning
that will click in, it will change, and hopefully it changes now. And we seem to play better, as we did last season, against teams that come at us, and they are going to come at us. That's the way that they will play. They will come at us, and I think I've got a feeling we get a result here. I'm dying to say that we win, but I'm going to go 2-2. I'm going to go for a Desmond.
So I can't believe how much I agree with Ian. I'm shocked. You've learned over the years what football means.
What's been happening is I've quietly just been listening and learning off the legend that you are. You big-headed prick.
Oh, what is this bloody loving, man? Honestly, Christ.
I love Stato. I'll tell you what, I love you. And one other thing as well, right at the end of the show the other day, a couple of days ago, fucking some knobhead was giving you shit, and I fucking sent a $1.99 chat through and stuck up for you. And as I pressed go on it, Paul went, and that's the end of the show, lads. And I was like, you fucking little knob. I never got me.
Oh, thank you.
Stato, because me and you have always had, let's say, discussions, haven't we? But it's always been.
Oh, mate, I disagree with everyone. It's not personal.
No, I completely don't take it personal.
Is that the snake?
Unless I'm on my period. But no, I fucking stuck up for you, and it was like, all right, Ian's coming. See you later, bye. So,
I do apologise for that, mate. But
I'm always here, lads. I love you. I love what you do here. And
so you're going for a Desmond, Ian? Yeah.
I'm going for it. No, fuck them. I'm going 2-1. We win 2-1.
Ooh, I hope you're right, buddy. What about the Carabao?
I think we smash them in the Carabao. To be honest, that's the one that the most important to me. To be honest. I think that we do something in the Carabao this season. I think we do.
Yeah.
I think we beat them, and I pray it don't go to penalties. I think we beat them 3-1. I've just got a feeling they play a weakened team, and I think that
The problem is, Ian, with Chelsea is their weakened team is still full of people that cost £60 million. That's a silly problem.
Yeah,
they've got like four. They've got 4 teams. We know that, but
yeah,
I've just got like he's done a really good job since the lads come in. He's done what every manager should have done with them. He seems to have galvanised them, but I've just got a feeling that I think we've got. I don't know why, and maybe I'm deluded, and maybe I've had too many Cruz Campo tonight. But I've just got a feeling that I've got a feeling we get something in the Prem, and I think we beat them, and I think we actually smash them at our place because we are creating so many chances. We had 15 shots. You'll love this stat, 15 shots.
He's even doing stats, Paul. What have you done with Ian?
I don't know.
He's changed his hair.
I'm not trying to take over from you because do you know why? I can't count. So it's a major issue for me to start. But I know we had 15 shots in the area, but we only had 6 on target and 21 shots in total. 6 on target is not good enough. That can only get better with the quality we've got up front. So let's fucking take it to him. I'm getting on a fucking coach for 6 hours, stinking of piss, and going all the way down to see us not get beat again 3-1 like last year.
Put some clean underpants on before you go in.
Send us some of your old dirty ones, Billy. I'll snip them all the way down.
They're at the airport as well.
I love them. I love them.
Absolutely. Right. Thank you very much for coming on, Ian. You take care. We'll see you soon, buddy. Take care. Good night.
Bye.
So there we go. Chris, what's your prediction for the weekend?
Well, I called it right last week, losing 1-0. I think we're looking probably a draw, and I reckon we get a win in the Carabao.
Good man.
Well, I hope you're right because at least 2 games without defeat will hopefully get the confidence going a little bit more as well. But thanks for coming on again, matey. We'll talk to you next time.
No worries. Cheers, guys.
Cheers, Chris.
Good night. Right. Do you know who Josh is reminding me of?
No.
Who's that? What was that bloke on Netflix? The something King.
Tiger King.
The Tiger King. Except this guy's the Snake King. I don't mean that as an offence. I just mean like you with your animals.
Tommy Exotic, whoever his name was. Joey Exotic, wasn't it?
Joe Exotic.
Joe Exotic, yeah.
Fucking fruitcake.
I've just googled it. It looks nothing like him.
No, I didn't say he looked like him. I said he reminded me of him, you prat. Anyway, is that the snake still wrapped around your arm, Josh?
Yep.
Seriously, I'm getting the heebies. I am. I'm getting it. Why is Siri just come on my phone? I didn't say her name. Well, never mind. Anyway, what's your predictions then, Josh, for the weekend?
My heart's telling me 2-1, but I think we're going to get. I think it's going to end up being 2-0 Chelsea.
Oh, do you have to?
I can't help it.
Whereabouts in the States are you, Josh?
San Antonio, Texas.
Texas, yeah. An ice hockey fan at all?
Should have brought my other snake on. I have 5 snakes, so.
And NBA fan? Are you a Spurs fan?
I'm sorry?
You a Spurs fan?
Nah. He's a Dallas Stars fan, aren't you, Josh? I think we've lost him.
I think the internet's gone a bit laggy.
Can you hear us, Josh?
Yeah, I can hear you now.
All right, okay. Are you a hockey fan or?
Actually, I was going to say something to you about that.
Uh-oh.
So your goal music.
Yeah.
So my family had season tickets to the Whalers.
Hartford Whalers,
yeah.
Hartford Whalers
and that
music,
was the Brass Bonanza was their celebration music.
Oh, wow.
Well,
so it makes me.
We've actually changed it. We have
How
some
dare
new
you.
goals.
How dare you?
No, we haven't changed it. We're going to use both. I've got some new music and hey, Brass Bonanza. I have that as my ringtone on my phone and everything, just because of the Hartford Whalers. Growing up, with that music, and Durham Wasps had it when it started playing for them and stuff like that. So it's a very special piece of music to me, believe me. But
we never get to hear it on this channel anymore, do we?
Well, we never see Granny in the music anymore. Yeah, it's been a long time. Granny's passed away. Oh, here we go. Dinny Mag says, Jesus, this is such a negative channel. Lighten up, man.
What are you talking about?
What are you on about?
What's Dinny Mag talking about?
No, I actually think
we are
we're gonna.
winless in 3.
My heart says we're gonna win 2-1. My head says we're gonna lose 2-0. I think that we're gonna beat them 3-1 in the Carabao though.
Good man.
What does Pandora say?
Yeah, what does Pandora predict?
She just wants to be back in her enclosure.
Yeah. You can tell the way she's looking at that camera. She's thinking, Paul, I am coming for you. I can taste you.
You need to be fully grown boa constrictor to get yourself around me, pet.
Listen, Josh, thank you for coming on. Get yourself on next time and see what snake you'll have next week. All right, man, you take care.
Yes, Josh.
Yeah, I'll have Hannibal next time. He's black. He's a California king, so he's black and white.
No good
yes, okay. If you must. Cheers, Josh. Take care. So that was Josh. And that does it for the fan forum. Billy, do we have an entertaining story tonight? We don't.
We'll save one until next week.
Okay. Well, there you go. That is TTR Friday done and dusted, guys. Thank you so much for watching. Perfect way to start the weekend. And of course, don't forget Matchday Live. We start the show at 1:30 on Sunday afternoon. And then it's a 2 o'clock kickoff, full commentary of the game as per usual. But thank you very much for watching. Please do give it a like. Still very important that we keep those coming in on the channel so we can get in the search results when people look for Newcastle United. And of course, do subscribe if you're new and you like what you see. It is free to do so, but make sure you hit that notification bell so you never miss an upload or a live show. And don't forget, if you want to listen to the show again as a podcast, it is up round about an hour after the show. If you want to go back and listen to it through your headphones and have another laugh, or just listen again, why not? Or if you missed some of the show, you can go back and watch it on there, or watch the rerun on YouTube. It's entirely up to you, really, but it will be available on Apple and Spotify and all the good podcast providers. But thank you very much for watching. Thank you, mods. Thank you to Billy and Alex, and a massive thank you to you guys out there for spending Friday night with us. Hope to see you on Sunday for Matchday Live. But in the meantime, have a cracking weekend, folks, and it's good night from us.
David Miller did what on a Chelsea kit?
Come back and check on some green.
Ah!